Anyway, impeachment. What is wrong with these people trying to run Donald Trump out of office? I mean, huh? It's like, so this man that we voted into office, okay, president of the United States of America, won an election fair and square, duly elected president, okay. He's got the highest number. He's got the highest number of electoral votes back in 2016. Hey, presidential election, it is what it is. It's not how many votes you got over it all, overall the total number of votes, all over the country. Hillary Clinton got more votes than Donald Trump did. It's like, that doesn't really matter. Okay, what matters is how many electoral votes you got. I'm not going to sit here and explain the electoral college to you. Google it. Okay, but that is what it is. He won the election fair and square by getting more electoral votes than she did. Hey, he's the president. And the Democrats have not been able, they just hadn't been able to stomach the situation since it happened, since November of 2016, that Donald Trump won this election. And he won it fair and square. He worked harder than Hillary Clinton did. He put himself out there. Everywhere you look, you saw Donald Trump out there working to get elected. Hillary Clinton thought she had it in the bag. She thought she didn't have to work as hard as Donald Trump did. And hey, at the end of the day, she paid the cost for it. She lost, okay? But the Democrats, not thinking that Donald Trump was going to win this election, okay, they sitting back, everybody sitting back laughing at him. You remember? I remember 2016 specifically. It was a lot of people mocking Donald Trump. Okay, you mocked him left and right. Oh, Donald Trump thinks he's gonna be president. Yeah, right. No, not today. Just mock after mock from the news media, so-called news media, left wing, Democrat news media. The ones, CNN on up to MSNBC. I ain't got to tell you who they are. You know who you are. So anyway, they mocked this man, because he wanted to be president, because he had the nerve to come out here and run for president. And yeah, we're going to mock you for it. Like, oh, okay, we'll see how it goes for you. But look up and Donald Trump got elected. And the Democrats have just lost their minds ever since this happened. And it's just funny to watch it. These people running around with their heads on fire, But at the same time, it's frustrating. I got to tell you, after going through that Russian collusion crap and knowing that Donald Trump did not collude with any Russians to steal an election, okay, I watched his campaign. And mind you, I wasn't it's not even like I was the greatest Donald Trump fan to begin with. I was going back to the primaries. I was Ben Carson guy. I wanted to see Ben. I would have backed Ben Carson from the get go, and it kind of ticked me off what Donald Trump said about Ben Carson being introduced to his name, bringing his name up. Donald Trump, referring to Ben Carson, I'll never forget. He said, "Well, he's a great guy. I mean, not great guy, but referring to Ben Carson, he said, oh, I guess he's a great doctor, I guess." Like, great doctor? Ben Carson? Uh, neurosurgeon? Ben Carson? The first man to successfully operate on conjoined twins to separate them? Separate conjoined twins? That's twins that their heads are joined together. And the surgery to detach these twins from each other was pretty intense. That was some groundbreaking surgery for Dr. Carson. But Donald Trump said, no, he's all right, doctor, I guess. And yeah, give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, maybe he didn't know who Ben, before this, he had never heard of Ben Carson. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt on that, Yeah, he's rough around the edges. I don't fall all apart about it. It is what it is. I voted for Donald Trump because I wanted somebody to get in there and get the job done, okay, and quit screwing us around with it, making it look like this can't be done and that can't be done. Remember Barack Obama talking about all America's best days are behind him, and the GDP will never go above 3%, and his didn't quarterly. We see that Trump's has been over 4%. Anyway, I don't want to get into the numbers. Um, anyway, I went from supporting Ben Carson to supporting Ted Cruz because his ideals lined up with my ideals by 93%, as a matter of fact, which was higher than anybody else. And at that point, I had never heard of Ted Cruz. So I had to figure out who he was and what he had going on. So I stayed behind Ted Cruz all the way through the primaries, just seeing, when Ted Cruz and Donald Trump were the last two left in the primaries that year, and everybody was kind of trying to get Cruz to drop out because they wanted Donald Trump at that point. So eventually Cruz dropped out. But I saw this to say that, I've never been on anybody's tip like all that. Like, oh, Donald Trump is the man, and it's him and nobody. Nah, I had to eventually come around to getting on the Trump train. It's like it wasn't something that was immediate for me. Prior to then, I knew who Donald Trump was, but it ain't like I was watching. I don't think he had any movies. I know he had a couple of TV shows that You're Fired or Who's the Boss or whatever. The Apprentice. Okay, yeah. I've never seen one episode, 1 minute of The Apprentice. I don't really watch TV like all that other than news and true crime shows. It's one or the other for me. There really is no in between. But up until then, I know who Donald Trump was. I never even knew that he was interested in running for president. So I know the one main thing that I liked about Trump was he was an outsider. He was somebody that wasn't a politician. And that was something that I know we prayed for in the past. It's like, because I'm not the only one that was sick and tired of politician after politician coming around during election time and making promises that they knew they weren't going to keep. You listen at them doing it now, It's like you look at the Democrat who's running for president on a Democrat ticket. And all of them know that they don't have a chance of beating Donald Trump. No chance at all. But they're running anyway. And it's like, okay, you guys, you run on your little, platforms, little ideas, Medicare for all and taxing the rich and giving it to the poor, the spiel. And they come around and patronize the blacks, and they do everything. They make all these promises they never gonna keep, and we were tired of that. I know I was, and I know a lot of other people that were tired of that. And we were sick and tired of you guys coming around and making these promises every 2 years and every 4 years for every national election, U.S. election. You come around and make these promises that you have no intention of ever keeping, because you don't care about us. You don't care about the everyday people that's out here on the grind every day and night, 24/7, making this country run. You got those of us that are out here, we work, 365 days a year, we working around the clock. You got those of us that work through holidays. You got those of us that work overnight. You got those of us that are doing good. You got a really great job if you have a job that has 2 weeks of paid vacation per year. You're doing great. That's a fabulous job if you get 2 weeks of paid vacation per year. But let's take a look at Congress. Let's take a look at these Democrats in the House of Representatives that are hell-bent on impeaching Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure they're probably at home right now. They're at home nice and comfy and cozy because every time you look up, they're going on break and they're going back home and they're doing whatever they do at home. I mean, but it's like we're tired of that. It's like just like we're sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of right now. Every time I turn the news on, the news is hijacked with this impeachment crap. It's like I don't want to hear about impeachment.